Namaskar and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kavya R. Chavali, and I wholeheartedly welcome all of you to the fifth edition of the Economic Times Iconic Brands of India 2022. We have a very interesting theme around re-evaluating the brand theory, and at the outset, I'd like to once again extend my warm welcome to all those who have turned up here in time and on time, and to be a part of a very glittering evening, a lot of deliberations, and of course, then the felicitations. So, this very edition of the Economic Times Iconic Brands of India will take the opportunity to feature remarkable brands that have redefined the benchmark in their respective fields. On that note, what we're about to do is get started with our very first brand case study, from idea to icon, and how successful brands pull out all the stops. So we have with us none other than Mr. Dinesh Chabra, CEO, Usha, joining in virtually to share his address. Here we go.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and it's a privilege to be present in this forum and privilege to represent a brand like Usha. Now, it all started with Lala Shri Ram, who in almost close to about 1930-35 founded a small unit in Kolkata at the backyard of a warehouse, wherein sewing machines were being made. That gentleman who started had some financial difficulty, so Lalaji helped him to build that plant. But the aim was to make sure, Make in India gets propagated at that stage when Gandhiji gave the opportunities of, Swadeshi movement. Now, he passed on the baton to his son, Charat Ram, Lala Charat Ram, who built the building on the foundation laid by his father. Now, then came his son, who was working in Citibank in New York, having a corner office in New York, and coming back to India to help his father. Those days, some of our units were falling into BIFR. So he helped them revive those units. Not only was able to consolidate the entire DCM family, and entire Usha family at a space, but as well as brought in a Japanese collaboration in the shape of General Motors, Honda. In fact, we were instrumental in bringing Honda cars in India. We were instrumental in bringing Honda engines in India. And then came his son, Krishna. Krishna is now the fourth generation. He perhaps works ahead of his time way his great-grandfather used to work. He is the one who is on the back of technology, on back of innovation. He has been modernizing Usha for the needs of the today's Gen Z, today's population of India. Now, again, from taking from his great-grandfather a small sewing machine and carrying over with the same sewing machine and creating opportunities for generating wealth in the hands of the common mass India, working on the financial empowerment of the bottom pyramid. He's the real torchbearer of the brand from his great-grandfather. Now, we all of us have stood by our pillars of strength or philosophy, and which was to put the power in the hand of people and make them, make them self-reliant, healthy, and successful. To listen to our consumer, to listen to the consumer's latent needs, and develop the products which service those needs rather than just selling the products. And building the trust with the employees, we perhaps is one of the empowered companies, empowered organization, who doesn't know the DCM management training culture, and that is still being followed in the similar passion by Usha at Usha in India. Now, again, we are strong generations after generation. Our DNA has not shifted. Our DNA has been built onto the transparency, ethics, integrity. These are some of the non-negotiable culture aspect of the company on which the pillar has been created. Now, obviously, all this is happening to give it back to the society as we earn, and that constantly remain constant with the brand from Lala Shri Ram to Krishna Shri Ram. Now, in terms of in terms of the brand, way brand has been presented, it has through and through, it has remained on a constant endeavor of communicating with the consumer, from those old black sewing machines to a journey which is now we are standing on the pillars of technology and the advancement, which is phenomenal, and that perhaps is the basic pillar of being a legacy brand. With that, I would end my presentation. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chabra. That being said, we are also quickly setting the stage for our next session. This is where we focus on the advertising lessons, weaving emotions of a brand. So joining us now is none other than the Group Chief Creative Officer and Chairman of the Mullenlove Lintas Group. So ladies and gentlemen, we have with us Amer Jaleel.
I feel that today's marketers, today's brand leaders, and also because there is this huge influx of technology, data, digital universe, sab kuch aa gaya hai, and people are wanting to exploit it. People want to say a lot about their brands, and therefore they are telling a lot of stories. I feel it's becoming hectic out there. I mean, how many stories will you tell? How many stories will any audience be able to swallow? So I'm saying, step off the accelerator where stories are concerned. Say a story that is relevant to a time, to something. I mean, don't try to be relevant all the time. So if we can stop that, I think we are doing a service. Not just to our own brands, because the lesser you speak, the more you will be heard, because you will be speaking absolutely when it is needed. Hectic's contribution to the world of marketing, I think, is also killing creativity, because there's so much you want to respond so quickly. That brand has done this, so you need to respond. Oh, there is this thing coming up, we need to respond, we need to be out there. And all of this is giving little time to the actual creative business of making of a brand. So the less that we do of putting it out there, the more creative we'll be able to do. We'll be able to make our work, we'll be able to make our brands, because as a whole, the brand will need to stand out. And when the brand stands out and looks, you can see the brand clearly, then you can see the story of the brand. You don't need to see too many stories. You just need to see one story for the brand. And I mean, to complete, the analogy of storytelling, I want to say that just like they say the show must go on, I mean, the brand is also immortal, right? For us, it exists beyond us and it keeps existing, right? So the brand must also go on, I think, and that's the reason why we should, practice better, more creative contributions to the brand than huge number of contributions to the brand. Yeah, that's my story.
It's time to move forward. We'll also be indulging in another very, very important and a crucial conversation with none other than the very iconic Mr. Bhaichung Bhutia. So can we have a huge round of applause to please welcome Mr. Bhaichung Bhutia. We'd like to know, what does the word icon really mean to you, and where did this journey really begin? What was that moment of inspiration?
See, I think you can't become icon overnight. I think it happens over the years, and a lot of hard work you put into it. And ultimately, I think the success what you get has to be delivered year after year, match after match, and have a consistent performance throughout. And I think that's where, I think with the results what you've given over the years, playing it and achieving it, I think that's how you become icon.
Ladies and gentlemen, 3 times National Award winner, the recipient of Padma Shri, and being in the industry for 3 decades, and with his truly, truly iconic roles, please put your hands together for none other than Mr. Manoj Bajpayee. Content has become very crucial. So does it also play a big part in the way you choose your roles?
In 1998, after Satya, it took me 8 months to find my another film. So that means there was no choice. OTT has given those choices. OTT has proved me right. And thanks to this time and to the new audience, which is really proving me right that content has some meaning in audience's life.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd also like to take the moment to unveil the cover of the Coffee Table book, which is a coffee table book that consists of all the amazing stories of these brands. So I'd like to request the Coffee Table book, the unveiling, to please take place in the form of a video on the screen. So let's have it on the screen, please. The felicitation of the iconic brands, and the first set is right here. Let's hear it, Kent RO Systems Limited. Let that iconic applause continue as we invite the next brand, Finolex Industries Limited. The next name that we're about to announce is Ambuja Cement. Ladies and gentlemen, the next iconic brand, JK Lakshmi Cement. All right, then let's move ahead and let's hear it for Metro Brands. Well, up next, it looks like we need to have a killer round of applause because the next iconic brand is Killer Jeans. This is us. Well, let's gather those smiles and let's hear it for the next brand, ladies and gentlemen, Imperial Auto Industries. And now, the next iconic brand, ladies and gentlemen, General Insurance Corporation of India. Well, up next, let's hear it for VKC Pride. We will now focus on a panel discussion which is laws of attracting brand nomads, turning prospects into customers. And with that, let me quickly hand over the proceedings to Mr. Pallab Roy. Over to you, sir.
So let me start this with Shomashri, right? How would you look at, this evolution, the customer experience that your brand has to generate in this omni-channel setup, and the role of the CMO that has changed to address that?
Actually, I would say that life possibly earlier, I mean, don't kill me, people who have been CMOs earlier, but life really used to be so much more simpler, where create one TV commercial, have a simple set of products, and they will buy it from the Kirana. From there, life suddenly shifted gears, and very fast, with the modern trade coming up, and then suddenly social media, and then e-com happening, and it complicated the lives. The biggest challenge that the CMO today has is really to maintain a consistent communication for the brand, but across channels. But then also it provides you with an opportunity which can be capitalized on.
Lalatendu, let me bring you in here, right? So just share your insights on how do you think today the Indian consumer is actually choosing the channel that they want to engage in?
So today, if you look at the customer, especially after the revolution by Jio in 2016, where the data became cheap and internet penetration was driven, one of the biggest barrier actually was gone. And so, affordability of the data becomes so easy that customers actually started adopting channel. You should understand the pain point, you should understand the barrier, and if you mitigate the barrier, there will be channel adoption.
Today, the consumer journey is not a reductive journey, it's an iterative journey. So what is happening? He's starting with 5 brands, but then he's not coming down 5, 3, 2, 1. He is taking 5 brands, then he's iterating between number of brands. Why he's being able to do that? Because the social media, e-com, digital space is creating a lot of brand experience, brand reviews. Now that is actually an interesting thing which is happening. And if you understand that okay, how that 5 to 1 is happening, then probably you can create your brand purpose, you can devise your brand purpose around that.
So let's shift gears a little bit. Wilson, let me bring you in. Do you see this B2B space actually evolving for you? Or it is the way it has remained for many years?
Slowly in the B2B domain also, from segments we have moved into micro segments. And from micro segments we are moving into each customer as a unique segment. And this is being helped largely because of digital, which is coming in.
So, Vishal, let me ask you, can you share some insights on how are you using data and analytics, right, to enhance the brand performance as well as the customer experience?
So we have got dynamic rule engines which are built at the back end, which can kind of give a decision. And the decision tree can vary. It can be a straight reject. It could be in terms of more due diligence, or it can be in terms of a straight through decision.
Thank you, all the panel members. You've been a wonderful panel.
What we are finding is the quality of water is deteriorating day by day because water sources like rivers or underground water are getting more contaminated. RO technology has helped us to purify this water and meet these standards. Well, the technologies have been come up now, wherein mineral content is being maintained in water. The water wastage has become virtually nil, and we are able to purify the purified water and keep it intact for a long time.
With rising urbanization and growth of construction business in India, the building material industry that includes PVC pipes and fittings is experiencing a good growth. Finolex is a leader in the pipes and fitting industry, trusted by millions in India for over 40 years now. We are the only pipes and fitting manufacturer that is backward integrated to PVC resin manufacturing. The thought and care we put into every Finolex pipe ensures long-lasting quality for our customers.
So for the past 70 years, the customer has been in the center of every decision we've made. We work our business from the customer backwards. The 3 things that I think that help us sustain over these last 70 years is 1, all our goals go through a lens of long-term sustainability. The second one is great financial discipline. And the third is deep operational rigor in running our operations. So we didn't get here by accident, and we've been working very hard on these 3 to consistently deliver a consumer experience. We've been on our toes for the last 7 decades, and have no plans of slowing down now.
Today, the consumer is looking for more than a roof over their head. They are looking for a place where they can build memories with their family, a place that they're proud to own, a place that you possibly leave as a legacy for your next generation. I think homes today have to offer unmatched experiences, amenities, and services. And all this needs to be given by a brand that has a proven track record.
We are already working with almost the majority of the car producers in this country. We also work with the European car makers. So the good thing is we already have exposure on some of these applications in the EV, where we are working with the cooling kits on some of these new cars which are being developed. We work on various segments. There are two sides to it. One is that there will be certain applications which will be EV agnostic, which will remain into play if any other alternate fuels are used. And there will be some applications which are specific to EVs. And on most of the new launches that you have seen lately, we are doing the battery cooling circuits on the EV. So that's working as an additional volume for us. So for us, EV is working out better as a market share gain.
GIC Re has restructured different segments. The pandemic has brought under renewed focus the resilience of the balance sheet and the risk management processes of the risk carriers. In view of the above, GIC Re is bringing underwriting discipline through risk modeling for adequate pricing and interaction with global expertise. The main objective is to control attritional underwriting losses, strengthen the solvency, and thereby improving the rating. Sustained economic growth, rising interest rates, and higher investment income are among the positive factors setting the stage for enhanced top and bottom line growth in the year ahead in shaping GIC Re as a global leader.
Every market is a group of customers. If you have clarity on your customers, and if you take the pains to understand them thoroughly and their changing needs with time, along with their behavioral changes and their lifestyle, competition cannot be a match for you. So the idea is to have a clarity in the fundamentals for all of us at VKC. And we strive to make these fundamentals the foundation of the brand. We focus only on our customers. We never focus on our competitors.